Is this recording? Great. Just going to turn this dryer off. Yeah, guys, that's how ghetto we are. We are in the dryer room. It's not the dryer room. Well, it is the dryer room. Are you to lie? G'day, guys, and welcome back to Pirate Think. This is episode 8, and I'm so excited to be here. Maybe this is just going to have to be another one. Interesting. So I'm going to unpack this with you live tonight, and I've challenged myself a couple of times. I actually did one little podcast hit film just before. It is Friday night. I genuinely am pumped, but I'm genuinely out of energy as well. It's been a huge week, lots of complexity. I go away with the family on Tuesday, so I have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, wrapping up a big job on Monday. Just a bit on. It's good. Keen to just end it. And there was a little bit of me that was like, how can I get out of doing this? Can I do 2 tomorrow? And I started questioning that in my mind. Now I snapped it off pretty quickly and got busy with the rest of the day, but I was already feeling a bit like I got to do it. Anyway, I got through the day good. It's been a late day. I didn't wrap up with the team till probably about 5:30. I thought, we knock out this podcast. So I set up and I did a podcast, kind of had something that I wanted to talk about again. And I don't know, I feel I was already a bit like defeatist heading into it. Not defeatist. I was definitely like up against it to make sure I knocked one out tonight. So anyway, I did one, but as I did one, I just felt that it was quite, I don't know, super in my head and super like I talk about whenever you go through a challenging moment or a high capacity moment or something. And this just happens all the time, depending on what happens in our life, day to day, hour by hour, minute by minute for some. And I'm reflecting on having one today where I was feeling out of capacity. And so in those moments of out of capacity, we start to think about things, thinking about like, oh, how could I get out of doing a film tonight? How could I do? You start to prioritize, you start to shift things. And once again, it's getting caught up in that headspace at that moment then and giving that too much attention and going down that route can be the start of a big collapse if you are in a high stress, high capacity, running out of capacity, feeling stressed, feeling tired moment. In a life's easy, cruising, I've got good capacity, I'm doing stuff moment, not so much. But definitely when you're in a high capacity moment. The last few months have been a stretch for me personally, business, a few other fronts, because I'm continuing to push myself, I suppose, just self-realization. Hey, oh, it's my fault. I get it. It all makes sense now. You chose this. Good job. So I started filming this thing, and this probably podcast is a bit the same, but I just felt too in my head to verbalize out to the camera what I wanted to do. And I thought the piece was a bit and I definitely didn't go more than 10 minutes. And when I threw it in the computer and had a look, I don't know how many minutes it is. It's like 8 minutes. And once I edit it, it'll probably be 4 minutes or something. So I thought, no, freaking lock in and do some more minutes. And then I was still pretty heavy in my head. So that is why you got this 10-minute video today. I'm probably now, if you want, I don't even know if I summed that up, to be honest. I don't even actually care. If there's nuggets in it, great. I'm at that point. This is what you get. And then I suppose I'll just roll on that other 5 minutes I did before. I have a feeling this one's going to be a rough one. Welcome to the 30-day challenge. 10-minute video every day, 30 days. Love it. Just do it. So good for you. So good for your self-esteem and just feeling good about yourself. Just been a good week. Get it out there, son. How we looking? Workwear, the old work truck on today, mate. Hard yakka. Been a big day for the bloke. Been a big day. Welcome to Pirate Think. I still try and think of corny ways to open. I think, stuff, I just start talking. But if I did think of one really good one, a sea change or changing direction. I'm Brad James. Welcome to Pirate Think as we navigate changing direction. Didn't really sell it. Here we are, Friday afternoon, episode 8, I believe, which is so exciting. We are 8 episodes down. I've officially tipped over entire week because anyway, I don't need to get into the complexities of it. But episode 8, it feels like I have only just begun and yet I have done so much in this last week. The editing has been unreal. The filming has been intense. Even tonight was intense, to be honest. I was trying to think about a way to just let me in and just fucking us it. But Friday afternoons, typically for Brad, are definitely a come down off a big week. And I manage it well, but to get amped up about something I'm definitely trying to just amp down the intensity, which puts me in a state of reflection. And what I really wanted to talk about actually was in times of change and big substantial change. And this just come up because I had a conversation with a friend recently about a potential change in his life and in his work circumstance. And then maybe just in that moment with him, it really made me like shoot back and think about all of the different jobs and times in my life where seasons have changed or employment has changed after a substantial amount of time or investment into said thing. Just kind of watching as I'm being a ear for him as well as a guiding star, I would hope to some degree, just made me really reflect back on how I would approach that situation now compared to how I approach the situations in times gone past. And I think that's a really great reflector of just a really good reflector for self-growth, achievements, distance, all of that type of stuff. And you could look back on those times and go, oh, if only I had done this, or if only that I had done that better. Or you can look at the improvement of what you are now and what you actually learn and grown through. And I think that at the end of the day is the bigger value by a long shot. And so just as I was thinking about this navigating change and when a big change in life happens, like a work scenario, how often or how quickly we can get caught up in a whole bunch of political debating side of the situation rather than a really strategic unpacking understanding of the situation. And it becomes clearer, I feel, the more you not get on top of, I don't think you ever get on top of your emotions, but I think once you begin to have a handle on them and understand them and work with them, you very quickly see the difference between your emotional, unrational thought and your very direct, very problem-solving focused or focused in any area, really. It becomes clearer to you. And then when you watch someone potentially do a season of their life where you can see it's not the flaws, but you can see the sections where they're getting held up or caught up in the emotion of something or a justification of something, rather than stripping back to a true reflection. And I think you kind of find and you fight that stuff. You also try and find people that support your cause that also help you justify. That's pretty deep, but you do. But carrying on from that, I really feel that a big help to me and in the way I had lived life for many years, to be able to look back on those times and see the amazing growth trajectory that I have been on and the things that I actually did overcome and did learn from, and to be able to see the failures as not just the physical failures of what I didn't achieve, but see them as the parts of my internal world that weren't up to scratch in a whole bunch of areas. And they might have been in some areas, but in a whole bunch of areas, not up to scratch to the call of that position at that time. And I think we all go through them through all stages of our life. I think age eventually aids in giving some level of safety net of understanding, but not for all. So don't get too caught up in the what ifs or resist the change and spend time justifying why this change shouldn't happen. Run with it, learn from it, grow from it, be receptive of it, unpack it, understand it, strategize around it. Anyway, that was an interesting conversation. I'm actually quite intrigued to listen to that back. But that's Pirate Think, mate. Brace change. There's so much in that. Heaps. Too much. Take it easy.